Thank you, Richard. I just closed this door, so have less distraction. Firstly, thank you very much for giving me a time, especially Richard. Richard and I been working with the robotics for more than a year and a half. And we did a few projects together, which is really, really nice to be part of his team and TAFE. I taught TAFE a few years back. My name is Shafqat Ali. People call me Ali for the case of convenience. Today, I'm going to talk about, as I said, a little bit towards the job and the future. As I said before, I don't know much about you guys, but I'm really great that nature provided an opportunity to meet, greet, and share something with each other. So first thing I want to know a little bit about you, briefly, one sentence from each person. It's a very small font. Is what kind of job? I gave you already a bit hints as well. What kind of job you looking into? If you, at this stage, obviously, future, nobody holds a future, but you always plan and you try to guess what you're looking into in that, because I think you are only one more stage and you will be in a working force. So what do you think you're going to be doing in the future?
I'm going to be a game artist or animator.
Wow, exciting. Yes. Yep, I'm listening. We come back to you. If you're not sure at this stage, you can just guess, but you got to be sure by when you are 17, 18, you got to be sure, because 18 you are adult, you make your own decisions. So you got to be sure what are you going to do. Doesn't matter if you change it, but at least you have some plan. What about you? Okay. Couple, I'm listening. Yep. So, IT in general, anything specific? That's it. Thank you. Okay. So white and blue collar job is basically will be less and less happening here because all the things can be remotely done, will be done by somewhere else. You pick up a call Tesla, Optus, Integral Energy, somebody from Philippines pick up the call, or somebody from Bangalore, India. Sorry? So similarly, you can see that COVID triggered a lot of remote things. Your classes happening remotely, even doctors doing remote work. So it doesn't matter where they're happening. What is left with it? Basic customer service job where we need a physical interaction. I could deliver this from home as well if I wanted to, but I prefer to come here. But if I have an opportunity to teach someone Dubai, which I do, I'm doing from here. And it will be happening right now, it's happening now. There's a long list of other things you can do, but people who said the carpentry, builder, these things still stay. But what's happening in future? Physical presence will be less and less required. Okay? 15 years ago, I saw a demonstration, somebody in Germany building a trucks in India using robots. You see in the car manufacturing, it's not very much lockout future or a current. It's happening for a long time. The automated tools are being employed there. And the remote services will be happening more and more. But at the moment, they're only happening through the information. But when those information get hands with that, then you will see that automation will be all robotics. Sometimes you get semi-robotics or hybrid robotics, sometimes you get a fully automated robotic, like driverless cars. How many people have seen the driverless cars?
Tesla freaks me out because what if someone's dangerous and then they can just hack the car?
The car has sensors. They're gonna do that. The car has sensors, right?
Imagine that.
That's a separate discussion. What will happen? What are the issues and things? Do you know who's spending or who's investing?
Elon Musk.
China.
Do you know someone
Elon Musk is
Elon Musk.
Kyle.
Is the guy name?
He's the creator of
Tesla.
Tesla.
Daniel.
Which company is spending the most money on it?
Which company?
SpaceX.
Me.
No, not that space.
Uber.
Space Daniel.
Really? Oh, yeah, Uber, yeah.
You know the biggest expense for Uber to the drivers is the pay to give them commission.
Uber space.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You need a car, you ring an app, not even ring, you app, and it tells you, it happens in the morning.
Self-driving car.
While sitting on my porch, I order something from Woolies, I get a message, your bag is ready, I go and pick it up. This is happening more and more.
That's the biggest reason why they do it is because they don't have to pay the robot.
So this is fact, we can't deny it, it's already happening now. It's a semi-robot, you are the semi-robot. When you go in Woolies, self-check, self-scan, you're a semi-robot. Half of the job done by machine, half of the job by your hand.
Yeah.
We cannot stop it, but it means there will be no job for humans. That's not true either. So that's where I want you to look at it. Robotics bringing convenience to life. And robotics this is very important, 20 seconds to listen. Robotics is a realization of a 50 years dream. In 70s, when I started computing,
Wait, 70s you started?
yeah, 78, I had a first computer.
Are you 78 years old?
1978.
Oh, so long.
Oh, you're so young.
Yeah, I'm 55. What's wrong with it?
Wait,
what?
You're 30, so you were like 15, less.
So you look so young.
13.
Okay, that's okay. That's another
Continue, sir,
discussion.
continue.
Look at fresh, sir.
Continue.
Okay, when we started, we only used to have numbers. Then we saw graphics,
Calculate.
and then there was a heaps of the programmer just converting that numbers into graphics, Windows. Then we saw the web came through. When my first degree is here is MIT into web. Then everybody converting those programs into web because web gave the boundaryless access. Now what's happening now? Everybody going into the apps. Everything you see in the web, they want an app because of the device you're carrying everywhere. It gives you a lot of. Now the next phase, where you are having an exciting opportunity, converting those apps and give them a hands. The things you have to do with it, you do the three, think about it. You go to Woolies, imagine, there's no humans. It's already happening with Amazon there. Amazon has stores. Amazon have warehouses. I order from here and somewhere few mechanical hands start picking my stuff, putting in a boxes. This is happening right now. So what do you mean there'll be less job for humans? No. There'll be more opportunities for you guys. Look at what are the things required in the robotics. Like when I joined the web, there was 5 common jobs for every project. We need a graphic designer, we need a coding guy, we need a database person, and then we also need a network guy as well. In robotics, what are the things, if I'm going to design a robotics for the carpentry area, I need to have a good carpenter skills in mind, otherwise I need a role who has the experience with the carpentry, I'll also need a robotics skills as well. Okay? And then if I'm going to design something for the manufacturing where I have to use the electrical things I need to deal with that, I'm manufacturing the chips and I have a robot, then I need the electrical experience or a role who has a robotics experience and electrical experience as well. So your list goes on and on. There is another common thing required in every robotic project is a programmer. There will be always programming opportunity, or in other words, every person who wants to be a robotics has to have a programming in their blood or in their mindset. I'll talk a little bit more about it. Also designers. Designers who have got a skill to design something, think of something which is a need but not being fulfilled. Okay, that's so there are other roles as well. Do you think of any other skill set required in the robotics?
Oversight, people like overseeing the operation, so something doesn't go wrong.
That's what made it very nice. Thank you very much. Maintenance. If somebody designs something and I say, oh, it's beautiful, pick up the box, put it here, I just want to extend it to wrap it as well. So means there'll be ongoing maintenance. Like we have in the networking job, somebody design a network, it's working beautifully, but we need a network engineer to oversee and look after it to make sure it's going good. Or it's a maintenance required, it's an enhancement required. So there'll be job for that as well. What other skill you think can be, or a job will be in the robotics? Because this engineer jobs is a whole spectrum. Whatever you mention here, I don't see which is I don't see it. It's not part of it. I see everything is part of it. Like building industry is a huge demand to have a automated bricklaying. Do you know how much a project delayed just because each brick laid by is a snail hand? Time. 20,000 bricks. You can't just. There's a requirement here, and Australia is a booming construction industry. This is one of the industry. They've been pushing to do the work on Sundays because that's the only industry growing, even in the COVID. Okay, so what I'm inviting you to do in the future, in the past, there was a time where the numeracy literacy was one of the key requirements if you want to go to every field. Now, in the millennium time, the basic requirement to go any job, doesn't matter what you do, you have to have a computing skills. But in the future, doesn't matter what you do, they're gonna say, hey, you want to apply for a job? You have basic skills to
work with the robots? Doesn't matter what's, even your accounting, say look, oh, I know you do accounting and all that, but our office boy is a robot. Do you know how to communicate? You can say, hey Google, how are you? Where is it? Where's my Google gone? And these will be the basic skills. Like everybody now come and do a 6 months course in the computing just because that is required by every job now. You know what I mean? So in future, you will be working with a robot. You're already doing it. As I said, you are the semi-robot when you go Woolies. You self-scanning. If you don't do a self-scanning, you go in the back of the queue, right? So this is what I'm trying to get to. Now we look at if you really want to get to the core robotics, what skills do you need? I love robotics. My basic thing, because my kid is a coder. He just sit there and I love it when I see, he work with him. I says, this job give me opportunity to take my kid away from the chair. So you saw as well, you cannot sit down. You have to, it's interactive, it's a fun, it's you don't sit on the same job. Also, there are other things I'm gonna touch and I'm gonna conclude on that. Technically, you're good at it. I can see your faces, I saw your work, it's exciting. The IQ is quite good, you need a specific technical skills, any one of them. All you need is specific. But as I said, computing, you need a basic computing, which you already got because you're doing the robotic. But this is the next part, which is AI. Everywhere you're seeing AI, which human only used to own it. Now you're lending this to robots. So you need to think like a machine, but act like a robot. You put that thing into there. So when you come on this side, this is very important. For me, it's more important than that. Because this you can do by yourself while sitting on a chair, working with a Google or a YouTube. But this one, you only do through projects. This is the best way to get these skills. How many know what the EQ stands for?
Emotional quotient.
Okay. Which is mean how to deal with the humans. At the end of the day, still we will be working with the humans. They'll be liking, disliking. There'll be a different opinion. All those things you need to have those skills. Otherwise you get into trap. Oh, this guy is pretty good to do the work, but he cannot work in this team, so he'll be out of the job. So that is still required and more required because most of the robotics work, in this next 5 to 10 years, will be building new things. Maintenance job will come after. Okay? The exciting stuff, okay, we got an opportunity in that and that industry. They need urgently one robot to build in the next 3 months, and we need to get a team of, there'll be a hybrid team built up based on the application. So that time, who has the good communication skill, good teamwork, will be employed quickly because they should look IT work. There was no issue. And then the next thing, this is very important because you'll be some sort of engineer there. You need to think of as a human what they're doing, and that thinking you need to put into a machine which got a few sensors around, right? Sensor is there, communication skill artificially, right? So that's where you need to keep thinking about, okay, what about this? That you can practice now. I'm gonna give that into the takeaway. The last part, innovation. Means you're gonna keep thinking what others are not thinking. Future, okay, what about this? What about that? So you challenge everything. So these are the 2 things I want you to take with you, and the best way to practice soft skills, start creating small projects. That's why I love Richard's work. Whenever he starts an activity, he gives you a mini project because each activity is a small part of a big project. So if you have a the forklifter, later it will be like in a sorting, boxes sorting. Boxes sorting will be packed, packed will be loaded, loaded will be delivered. So in each one, I saw group work. That's another good thing. He paid up thing because I'm lucky when I did it. Same thing what you're doing now with him. And that was the first session in Cameltown, right? Yeah. So I really enjoyed. So best way to learn about those soft skills, EQ, how to deal with the people. So, and the second thing, how to challenge each thing, how to complement each other. Because in carpenter, who's working with you in a team to build something, to cut the wood, he only got the skill of this. He doesn't know about coding. The coding guy complement. And then the other one who's good with the mechanical things, he build up. So you complement each other, and then you learn the teamwork skills. There'll be one of them be leading it, so you learn how to lead a team. And then in the brainstorming, you create new ideas. That's where the innovation comes. You cannot do, from my little experience, you cannot do sitting in your room working with a Google. Okay? So that is the opportunity right now, you got it, and that is my takeaway from today. What I suggest you, create more project work. You're learning, so you got a concept, he explained to you very quickly, he gave you a handout to practice here, but when you go home, keep your brain burning and think, okay, how I'm gonna apply this, and show someone who say, look, we need this, but we want that thing with you, because you created that project, you're gonna look after it. So you're not gonna get with a piece of paper what they're gonna provide you. People don't want to know what you know. People don't want to know what you know, they want to know what you can do for them. And that is the proof by showing your project. This is, I did it. And if you explain that to them, how did you do it, they don't want to know your experience like the other thing. They say, look, I want to buy that skill with you. So these are two takeaways. More project-based work. Rate yourself, ask him, give you idea. If you go his class and see, he got